Am I the a-hole for leaving in the middle of a girls' trip in Europe? I have a friend, 32, who got engaged and decided to do a girls' trip as her bachelorette party. She picked Italy, and there were 6 of us on this trip. My friend loves to drink and party, whereas I don't drink but will indulge on occasion, like special events and celebrations. During this trip, I tried to participate in the drinking as best as I could. I'm a very bubbly and extroverted person when I'm in a group setting. So whether I'm sober or drunk, it's the same energy. I have tried to express this to my friend for years, but she is still someone who gets sad when other people don't drink as much as her. It is also physically impossible for me to drink as much as her. I just can't. But I tried really hard for my friend on this trip to indulge her. I wanted her to feel happy. I share this to express that I went in with the best intentions, but here is where I drew the line. We met some young people, and they invited us to a party. We went and danced and met more people. The night kept going on longer, and we were very far from our lodgings. These young men with 2 women in their group told us to stay with them for the night. I wasn't feeling this situation. It felt unsafe, but the group voted and I was in the minority. They were all quite inebriated, and it was hard to be the only sober person trying to get them to reconsider, get a cab, and go to our lodgings. I didn't trust these men. Something seemed wrong, but I was at a loss as I could not split from my group and didn't feel safe separating from them in the middle of the night. We go to this house and settle in. In the middle of the night, I hear attempts being made to enter our room. The men entered even though we had locked the doors. I pretended to be asleep, and the men were talking in Italian, but it felt like they were checking on us and wanting to do something. They were quarreling with each other, going back and forth, it seemed. They ultimately left to argue outside. I didn't sleep the whole night. I texted my boyfriend and told him what was happening and how I felt unsafe. Next morning, the group of girls I'm with decides we are going to stay another day because these men have offered to show us around. I didn't want to get into a car with them because I found them creepy. There were women in their group, but it didn't matter. They seemed even more suspicious to me, being overly friendly. The whole morning, I found the men staring at me a lot and also making some comments about my ethnicity. I am Korean, and they could tell, and it seemed that they were interested in me because of my ethnicity, asking me strange questions, including if I'm a virgin or not. So in my head, I could only think of perverted reasons for these questions because I thought these guys were sketchy and sizing us all up for some reason I couldn't figure out yet. My friend said I was having a language barrier issue, and I probably misunderstood. They were liking the attention of these affluent-seeming guys who were going to get us on a yacht. My suspicions and concerns went unheard. I talked to my boyfriend in France, and he said he could come get me, and he did. Am I the a-hole for leaving the trip because I felt uncomfortable and unsafe? I tried to communicate all this to my friend, but she didn't feel the same, so I did what I had to do for myself. The men were saying they will drive us to get our things from the hotel, and we can stay with them instead, and the girls were considering it. I left 4 days prematurely. The girls eventually came back and told me how creepy and scary the men became and that I was right. The friend, however, 32F, whose bachelorette it was, is mad at me for leaving. Just want to add, my boyfriend offered to drive them to our booked hotel, and I urged them to follow the planned itinerary. We even found a legit company that did yacht services, and my boyfriend offered to gift my friend by paying, but she and the others wanted to go with that group of men. I don't think I'm the a-hole here, but I'm just not sure.